The President of the Court is now back in session. We now would like to hand over to the co-prosecutors to continue putting questions. You may now proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Mr. Limsat. I have just a few questions to ask you regarding the events at Tulle-Potré. Can you tell us, were there any soldiers from Sector Battalions 201 or 202 who were assigned to Tulle-Potré on the day of the executions, or were all the soldiers there from the zone military?
Response. Soldiers from the zone were sent to that battlefield.
Thank you, Mr. Limsat. And I just wanted to confirm, were there any soldiers from Sector Battalions 201 or 202 who were there, to your knowledge?
Response. These people from 204, 202 were only tasked with guarding the road, but soldiers from the zone were assigned to that place, Tulle-Potré.
Thank you for clarifying that. This morning, you indicated, or you estimated, that there were 10 to 15 trucks that you witnessed transporting Lon Nol soldiers and policemen to the Tulle-Potré site. Can you clarify for us whether this is your estimate of the number of trucks that were sent from your unit's location to Tulle-Potré?
Response. These trucks were leaving the provincial hall, and because I was standing guard on the route to Tulle-Potré, these trucks passed us, and I knew that the number of trucks.
Mr. President, I'd now like to play for the witness an excerpt from the same video that was used the other day. That is E186.1R, number V00800-935. This is the Tet Sambat film titled One Day at Potré, and there is a 3.5-minute excerpt I would like to play, which runs from 7 minutes and 53 seconds to 11 minutes and 16 seconds of the video. With your leave, the audio-visual booth is ready to play that excerpt.
The President, you may proceed, and every unit is now instructed to play this video clip as per requested.
để cái prap tàu thì ngay cái bị chùm prap hay dương cầu bị ngất mỏng 4 chụp cái này chập cầu chụp cái này là lán tàu bay về chỉ đấy á prap yangเป็นมองบนนั้นมองเลยเงือบตัวจุ่มcái đó làng chỉ sạt nằng máu mà đào tiền chơi nó về pli tràng á
còn nó tập bạch lắm cái làng bạc ca đưa của logo à bạch lắm nó cái Việt Nam thông con này nè cái làng đưa logo nó cái đạm micro dây đó nữa cái dây bạc ca cho top vô một tờ riệp nữa cho từng dân hoa từng nằm bon hóa cho đọc bày phong đọc buồn nó cho một con nhé rồi cà phê nó hay phụ nhóm nó cái ơi riệp cái bị chùm ấy này con cà phê phụ nhóm phụ cà phê nó phụ cà phê nó bờ sân chia miền cà lôi ruồi cái prap trong cái thằng bờ sân chia nè cầm tích ruồi cứ dân nè cà phê nó thử mấy ở cầm ơi ruồi ta ruồi cứ bay cá khôi phàn cà bao giờ
chết rồi
nè sắp đó là mong bầm pân lên nó sâu sâu làn màu bằng làn thống màu muốn từ 4 làn thống một là sâu làn thống ngư màu trắng kịp rạp thà con bị say prong priệp
ngày thì bay nó tàu đặc manu tranh tàu bị chơi dàiเพราะយើងដឹងស្ថានភាពហើយថាយកទៅនឹងមិនមែនយកទៅអីទេពីព្រោះយើងដឹងផែនការថាគេទៅបន្តិចហ្នឹងសិនអ្នកសំខាន់គេដឹងថាឃ្លាតពីម្ដាមមួយយប់ពីរយប់នោះយ៉ាងយូរកាលពីបានជួបអីណែសម្ដេចឪហើយមកកាន់ការងាររៀងៗខ្លួនអញ្ចឹងគេនិយាយអញ្ចឹងគេអត់មានព្រួយបារម្ភពីបញ្ហាថាយ៉ាងណាអត់ទេហើយគេនិយាយលេងធម្មតាលោលេងគ្នាគេហ្នឹងលោលេងគ្នាគេម្ដាមឲ្យបានស្អីដាក់មកចេះមួយចុះពីរអញ្ចឹងទៅតែទនុយស៊ីវិលទេណាជាវាយខេតទនុយស្លៀកសពាក់សអញ្ចឹងពាក់បុកស្នោធ្វើរបៀបគេហៅថាសាមញ្ញចូលខ្មែរក្រហមស្លៀកខោឬអាវខ្មៅបងកសែងនៅលើកអញ្ចឹងគេរបៀបកសិករដែរគេស្លៀកខោអាវសាមញ្ញអញ្ចឹងទៅគេពាក់មួកស្លឹកស្នោតអញ្ចឹងដែរលេងសើចធម្មតាទៅក្នុងឡាននោះបង្កើតបរិយាកាសដូចរីករាយដូចអត់មានអ្វីសម្រាប់គេហៅថានៅពេលខាងមុខនោះមានវិបត្តិយ៉ាងម៉េចអត់ដឹងខ្លួនទេ
ចុះពីលើឡានគេជុងមកគេប្រកាសគាត់ឡានឈប់ដល់គេប្រកាសមិនប្រូថាឲ្យសមត្ថមិត្តជើងកុំភ័យអីប្រាប់បណ្ដាទាហានហ្នឹងពេលទៅជួបអង្គការយកឲ្យទុកចិត្តទេព្រោះយើងនៅជាប់សមាជិកទៅជួបសំណាច់គេថាអញ្ចឹងតើតែចងឡានមួយចងអស់បដើទៅចងអស់ឡានបដើទៅអស់ឡានបដើទៅ
យកចូលបើយើងគៀកស្ដាយថាវល់លេងអញ្ចឹងឲ្យដូចថាផងអញ្ចឹងហ្នឹងមួយទៅផងគ្រប់
Mr. Limsat, my first question for you, can you tell us whether you recognize or know any of the men who were shown in this film clip, either the 3 men who were sitting together on the ground or the man with the glasses who said he was one of the truck drivers? Do you recognize or know any of these people?
Response: No, I don't.
The men in this clip referred to a preventive unit and a smashing unit that were at the Tool Pocheret site. They also made reference, one of them, to units 18 and 19. Are you able to tell us what part of the Army any of those units belong to?
Response: I do not remember this very clearly because we were in different regiment. Even in my own unit, I can't even remember my colleagues. So it is possible that I do not know these people from, for example, Regiment 201.
Thank you very much, Mr. Limsat, for your time today answering our questions. Mr. President, the co-prosecutors have no further questions at this time.
President, thank you. Next, the Chamber would like to hand over to the lead co-lawyers for the civil parties to put some questions to this witness. Counsel Big Ong. Good afternoon, Mr. President and Your Honors. Counsels Kum Ming Ki and Benier will be putting some questions with your leave. The President, you may proceed. Counsel Kum Ming Ki. Good afternoon, Mr. President and Your Honors, and good afternoon, Mr. Lim Sat. I am Kum Ming Ki, counsel for the civil parties, and my colleague Benier will be putting some questions after me to you. You mentioned before the co-investigators in this courtroom this morning already regarding your roles and functions, but I have a few more questions for clarification. You said you were in charge of 5 collectives of people. Rather, you were in charge of 5 collectives. Could you describe to the chamber the names of these collectives, or cooperatives, rather? Response. I was in charge of cooperatives in Sia, Tlok village, Ba Chepuk village. There were several villages in one commune, and I was in charge of these cooperatives in this commune. Council, thank you. I have a question also regarding the 17th of April people, those who were evacuated from Phnom Penh to your area. Were people classified into the old or the new people, and how were the people or the evacuees treated? Response. People were living together in cooperatives. They ate in a communal hall, and with regard to the food ration, they were not different. They ate the same food equally, but there were different people, the 18th of March and the 17th of April. Question. Were the new people provided with some proper shelters? Response. Additional shelters were built to accommodate these new people. Question. Were statistics ever been made regarding the new people arriving at that vicinity, or were they registered? Response. At the sector level, they would ask that a report regarding the number of the people in the villages be made to the sector level. Thank you. Question. Who ordered how people, in particular new people, be treated? Response. We received orders from different levels. For example, from zone to sector, sector to district, and to sub-district. Thank you. Question. On the same topic of new people, you already testified that people were transferred also from Svay Rieng province. Do you still recollect what had happened in Svay Rieng that made them be transferred from there to your location? Response. That was in 1979. In that year, people from Svay Rieng were evacuated to Posat. Question. How did you know they were from Svay Rieng? Response. I talked to them. I asked them some questions as they lived in the same cooperative with us. And these people would then be made to stay in different cooperative. I asked them where they were from. They said they were sent from Svay Rieng. Council, thank you. Apart from telling you that they were from Svay Rieng, did you identify them based on their appearance or other signs that make them unique? For example, wearing a checked scarf? Response. We could identify them easily. They were wearing the same clothes as we were, but they were also seen wearing blue checked scarves. And also they were seen on carrying some luggage, some belonging on their shoulders. Council, thank you. I have a final question, please. What kind of assignments or tasks were these people assigned when they were transferred to your area? I'm referring to the evacuees from Svay Rieng. Response. Immediately upon arrival, it was the rainy season, the rice transplant season. So these people would then be made to transplant rice immediately. Council Kim In Kee, thank you, Mr. Witness. I have no further questions, but with that, I would like to cede the floor over to Council Binier to continue putting questions to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Your Honors. Good afternoon to everyone in and around the courtroom. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Lemsat. My name is Penny Ye. I am one of the international civil party lawyers, and I just have a few follow-up questions on what you've said this morning. First, I want to talk about the time around the 17th of April, 1975. You've mentioned that around that time, Lon Nol soldiers and policemen were taken to Do Bodre and executed there. Now, I would like to know if you know what happened to the families of these soldiers and policemen who were taken to be killed.
Response. Now you're asking me about the families of the soldiers. Is that your question, please?
Yes, I'm asking about the families of the Lon Nol soldiers and policemen who were taken to Tulpodre.
Response. I don't know about this because I lived in a separate location where they lived. I do not know what happened to their families.
And do you know if the families of those former Lon Nol soldiers and policemen who were taken to Tulpodre, if they were informed about the death of their husbands and their relatives?
Response. These people were told about this about 4 to 10 days after the event.
How do you know that they were told about this event?
Response. I knew this because people in my neighborhood or soldiers in my unit talked to me about the soldiers who had been executed earlier on. And after knowing this, nothing happened. The people were just sad.
Thank you. I would like to come to a new topic now. You mentioned earlier that on 17th April 1975, you knew that people had to evacuate from Phnom Penh and that they had to be transferred to the countryside. Can you tell the chamber how you knew about this?
Response. I just saw them being sent to Bosat province.
And when they arrived in Bosat province, you stated earlier that they had to join cooperatives. Can you tell us what they had to do in the cooperatives?
Response. In cooperatives, they were made to do farming, to dig canals and build dikes. That's all they have to do.
Thank you. I would like to come to a different period now. In your first interview with the investigating judges, document number E3/364, ERN English 00250761, ERN Khmer 00242423, and ERN French 00282199. you mentioned that you were imprisoned at Galle office starting from September 1976. Now, during that time in the prison, you observed that most of the people, of the prisoners, were people from Phnom Penh. My question is, were these people from Phnom Penh that you mentioned that were imprisoned in Galle office, were these people the people who were transferred from Phnom Penh after the liberation?
Response: Yes, they were. They were people who were evacuated from Phnom Penh after the liberation, and the evacuation took place all the way from 1976 all the way to 1978.
And can you tell the chamber when these people from Phnom Penh arrived at Galle office?
Response: People had to be evacuated from different places, not necessarily Phnom Penh, and that they would be made to live in the cooperatives, and that happened after in 1976 and in 1977, and then they were moved to. Some of them were moved to Galle office, and later on they were transferred to another office named Trach Krau.
So just for clarification, do I understand it right that people who were evacuated from Phnom Penh were sent to cooperatives first, then imprisoned at Galle office, and then later on released to another cooperative?
Response: Yes, it is correct.
Now, in the same document, E3/364, under ERN English 00250761, Khmer 00242423, and French 00282199, you stated that at the present Galle office, there were light offense prisoners and serious offense prisoners, and they were treated differently. My question is, the people from Phnom Penh that were imprisoned at Galle office, were they considered light offense prisoners or serious offense prisoners?
Response: Even people in Posat would be classified as the prisoners of serious offense. It depends on the offense they committed, not necessarily committed by people from Phnom Penh.
And these people in Phnom Penh, were they treated differently in the prison from other prisoners, or were they treated in the same way?
The President. Witness, please hold on. Counsel Victor Kope, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think we are moving outside of the scope here. The witness was in prison not as an officer or a member of the Khmer Rouge cadres, or however you want to call it. So he's now being asked questions as somebody who was imprisoned there. about the fate of other prisoners. And this particular prison is not part of Scope 1, so I think with this question we're moving outside of the scope.
May I respond to this objection? I'm focusing on the people who were evacuated from Phnom Penh, and the goal and the objective of my question is to show the treatment that people from Phnom Penh received upon the transfer away from Phnom Penh to Posat.
ធ្វើអ្វីចំពោះអ្នកទាំងនោះខ្ញុំចង់ដឹងបែបនេះឲ្យច្បាស់ពីសាក្សី The President, Council, you may proceed.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Bonjour, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President, and good afternoon, everyone, all the parties. I have been hesitating to rise to object, but after hearing the response to the question put to the witness by my learned friend, I am forced to rise. The question is not whether they had a security center in Phnom Penh and whether people are treated differently. The question is whether at this stage in case 002/1, we ought to talk simply of security centers. As you know, we are not in case 002/1. Questions were put on cooperatives. But if we want to talk of security centers and the Troll Security Center, we are going out of the scope of case 002/1. We may attach other things to what we are talking about, but we shouldn't talk about security centers because that is not within the scope of what we are dealing with today.
Yes, just a short reply to this. That's the reason why I'm not asking specifically on the conditions of Tkol office of the prison. I am asking more in general about the people who were evacuated from Phnom Penh and their fate upon arrival in the provinces, which is the consequence of the forced transfer number 1, which is part of case 002/01.
The President, the objection and grounds for objection by the two defense teams concerning the scope of the fact being asked by the civil party lawyer to this witness. Appropriate and thus sustained, a witness is instructed, therefore, not to respond to the last question posed by the civil party lawyer. And the Chamber takes this opportunity to once again remind the civil party lawyers that question be asked within the scope defined by the trial chamber for the first mini trial.
Very well. My last question for you, Mr. Witness, goes to the fate of people who were evacuated from Phnom Penh. Do you know if they were also killed like the prisoners from Tkol office?
No, they did not kill them, but they were made to work, and they also went hungry for a long period of time.
Thank you, Mr. Limsat, for answering all my questions. I wish you a safe journey home.
The President, thank you. Now, I hand over the floor to the defense team for Mr. Nguyen Chia to put the question to the witness. You may proceed. Counsel Sunarun. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Your Honors. Good afternoon, Mr. Limsat. I am a National Defense Counsel for Mr. Nguyen Chia. I have a few questions I would like to put to you. I would like to seek your clarification. You answered in the interview on three occasions with the Office of Co-Investigating Judges. The first one was on the 23rd of November 2008. At that time, you told the investigator that you were born in 1966. On the second interview on the 18th of November 2009, you told the Office of Co-Investigating Judges that you were born in 1955. And in your third interview on the 23rd of May 2011, you told the investigator that you were born in 1955. So your year, your birthday actually have changed every time you provided the interview with the investigating judges. This is according to the written record of your interview on the three occasions. So, what year were you born, really? Response. I actually did not pay much attention to my birthday. I was born in the year of monkey. According to your 3 interview, you did provide your date of birth differently in the 3 interviews. Do you recall whether or not you provided the real birth date then? Response: I knew that I made a mistake in answering the question at that time. The President, Mr. Prosecutor, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I simply wanted an objection. Counsel has slightly misstated the record. The witness in his first interview indicated 1965, but in the second and third interview, both times said 1955. So it's not correct for Nunchea's counsel to represent that a different year was provided each time. In fact, the same year was provided in the second and third interviews.
In your record of interview, I actually base my question on the written record of interview with Mr. Lemsat, so we can refer to this document. I simply would like to ask the witness whether or not he stand by his statement concerning his birth date as indicated in the written record, or you want to emphasize, you want to make a definitive answer in relation to this question. This is the intention of this question. The President. It's rather confusing, Counsel. Which year are you referring to? According to the document, one was in 1955, the other one is in 1965. It's not one verse in 1965 and the other one verse in 1955. And he also indicated, based on the Cambodian ways of counting age, he was born in the year of monkey. Counsel, I confused it myself earlier on, but as the President indicated, it is correct. He provided 2 statements. One was in 1965 and the other 2 was in 1955. So I would like to ask you for a definitive answer now. Do you stand by the 1965 or 1955? Response: 1955. Counsel, thank you. Question. Mr. Lemsat. What was your level of education when you were in school? Response: well, I did not attend any formal schooling. I attended study in Pagoda. At that time, the school was too far from my place, so I did not attend any formal schooling. Question. You told the investigator that you joined military with the resistance force of the Khmer Rouge from 1971 through 1975. Do you stand by this statement? Response: yes, I do. Question. When you were joining the revolution, what was the rank you held? Response: No, I did not hold any rank. Question: When you joined the revolution of the Khmer Rouge, then you command some 30 soldiers. Were you promoted to this command position immediately after joining revolution? Response: It was no. It was not until 1974 when I was promoted to command the 30 soldiers. Question: When you were commanding a platoon at that time, did you know your title? For example, as a commander in a platoon or so, did you realize that you were holding that position? Response: At that time, there were 3 different ranks, particularly in the platoon. There was one commander, deputy commander, and member. And deputy commander was in charge of politics in the military rank. And he was also working as a commissar as well. And as for the commanders, he provide training on tactical training on fighting, and we were also in charge of food supply. So there were 3 sections: politics, food supply, and training. Counsel, may I interrupt you? I would like to know your role when you were the commander of a platoon of some 30 soldiers. Did you know what your title exactly was? Response: As I told you, I was the deputy. I was in charge of training soldiers, and I also provided tactical training in order to combat in the wartime. And there was a person who was in charge of a commissariat, and he was in charge of providing political training and indoctrination. Counsel, I would like to interrupt you. I don't want to go into that much detail. I would like to only look at document E3/364 on page 00242422 in Khmer, and in English 00250759, and French 00282197. In the first question, the answer to the first question with the OCIJ, you told the investigating judges that you were a commander of Company 82, which had around 30 soldiers in Battalion 202. Do you recall the statement you made with the Office of Co-Investigating Judges? Response: When I was in charge of this company, there was another commander who was my direct superior, and I had to report to him. A commander of a company was a different person, but I was at that time in Company 81. Counsel, I would like to read out the question and answer at that time to refresh your memory. Question, quote, can you please describe your history before 1975? And your answer, quote, I live in a unit of the Khmer Rouge Army. I was a Khmer Rouge soldier in the northwest zone in Battalion 202. I was a commander of Company 82, which had 130 soldiers. This is the extract from your statement to the Office of Co-Investigating Judges. Do you recall saying that when you were being interviewed at the time? Response: no, it was actually Company 82. It was not 81. Counsel, but I would like to know exactly whether or not you were a commander of Company 81 or 82. I was commander of 82. You, Counsel, you said you were the commander of this company. Can you describe, to your knowledge, what was this all about, this company? Can you clarify this? Response. Well, to clarify this matter, we had Company 81. It comprised of 130 soldiers, and this is divided into 3 companies. And Company 82 comprised of 30 members, and then these 3 companies would form into a regiment, battalion rather. Your commander, the commander of the battalion, what was his name? My commander at the time was Hun, and he was in charge of politics. He was the chair, and the deputy commander was Mel. Sat was also deputy commander, and the chairman of this was in charge of politics, and deputy commanders was in charge of giving direction and training for soldiers. And another deputy commander was in charge of ammunition, food supplies, and military uniform. In Counsel, in your statement to the OCIJ, you told them that Seth died in 1971, was the battalion commander. At that time, the zone military chairman was Taki. Do you recall giving this statement, and do you stand by it? Zone commander or chairman was Taku, and battalion commander was Taset. Counsel, can you make it as clear as possible? Just make it one by one, because I do not quite get your point. In one battalion, there are 3 companies, but there are 3 people in charge of a battalion. One was the chairman or the commander. The commander was in charge of politics, and deputy commander was in charge of training military, and the other deputy commander was responsible for economics affairs, in other words, for food supplies, clothing, and Also, counsel, how about the man by the name of Sat? You said that Sat was the battalion commander. Is that correct? Respond, no, that is not correct. He is a deputy commander of the battalion. Counsel, so your statement to the co-investigating judges on 23rd of November 2008, you do not stand by this statement because your statement at the time and the testimony you are giving to the court now is different. So do you maintain your statement with the OCIJ or you take the statement that you are giving to the court now? Response. Actually, at that time, I did not pay attention to this issue that much. I did not even realize that I would one day be summoned to the court, and I did not actually care that much on this particular issue. And it has been many years now, and then if you think that this is appropriate, then I take this one. Counsel, I just want to get the accurate information to the court, and you have already taken an oath before you provide testimony to the court. I would like to ask you once again whether or not you maintain your statement with the OCIJ or you take your statement now, because in the past you said that Sat was the battalion commander and now you are saying that he is a deputy commander. So which one is your statement? Response. I only knew that one of them was the commander and the other was a deputy commander, but of course, after all, both of them were in the commanding post over there in this battalion. Counsel, thank you. I move on now. The President. The time is now appropriate for adjournment. The chamber will adjourn for 20 minutes. We will resume at 10 to 3. Court officer is instructed to arrange the place for the witness and his duty counsel to rest during the break and have him back in this courtroom by 10 to 3. The court is now adjourned.